sales. Now, these guys get paid big bucks if they're good enough. Whether it's over the phone or in person, a business needs a worker that knows how to emotionally manipulate its client to make a sale. Now, I know that sounds bad. I know it sounds evil. Manipulate, hear the word manipulate. Oh no, but it's just business. It's nothing bad. Arguably, sales guys are some of the most important guys in the business because they are what bring the clients in to make the business money. So if you're able to master sales, you can get paid hundreds of thousands of dollars. Here is the main sales technique that always works if done correctly. The technique is a rule, and that rule is your business does not matter, only the client does. And that probably makes you think, me just saying those words probably makes you think, oh, hold on, wait, how am I going to make money if my business doesn't matter? And obviously your business does matter. It's not meant to be taken that literally, but what the rule means and what it's trying to explain is that if you're saying to your client, oh, well, our business does this and that and this and that and that, then your client won't be a client because they won't want to buy. This is because your client couldn't care less about what your business can do, and they just find it annoying when you keep on waffling and waffling on about it for so long. What you really have to do is emotionally manipulate them and make your business about them. I spoke about this in my last video as well, explaining that I know emotional manipulation, it sounds kind of dodgy, sounds kind of mad, but it's actually not that deep. Let me explain. You do this by asking, so why did you jump on this call with me today? Or if I could help you with your goal, what would your life look like in the future? Anything that links in and talking about their goal, talking about their passion, you need their passion to be on their mind, not your passion, their passion, because people are selfish and mainly care about themselves, including your clients. This is because especially such as humans are such emotional creatures and a lot of them make decisions more emotionally than rationally. If your client is constantly thinking and talking about their goal and what they want to do with their life to you, they will be so desperate to reach that goal that they'll just buy whatever you're selling. You don't even have to do shit. You only have to do like 20% of the talking. They do 80% of the talking, and you just dig into them, like make it deep, make them emotional, pull some fucking emotional heartstrings, make them angry, make them sad, make them really happy, make them crave this goal that they want. And then if you have the ability to emotionally manipulate, which that's what it means, if you have the ability to do that, you can sell fucking anything, easy. What a lot of sales beginners, and I'm not trying to like toot my own horn here because obviously I'm quite a beginner to the whole sales thing as well, because I've only been studying it for a few months, so you could call me a beginner. But it's really easy to understand, and the main thing to understand is you don't sell the client sells himself, or themselves, I should say. I should include all genders. 2023, my bad, I forgot. The client sells themselves because they're the ones that need to have that goal on their mind. You need to firstly put that goal on their mind, and they need to keep talking about, and they need to get emotionally attached to their goal. And something that a lot of average salespeople do is they talk too much. Obviously, like I said before, my business can do this and this and this. They don't care about what your business can do. They only care about achieving their goals. So if you just shut the fuck up and listen to what your client has to say and dig into what they're saying, like I said before, you can sell fucking anything. Anyways, I'm going to be giving you guys, this is going to be a new series now. Maybe my first series on the channel, I'm not sure. It's going to be a series of me giving you guys sales techniques, helping you guys with sales, giving you guys techniques that I've learned over the past few months of studying how to sell. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. Hope this video helped if you're, trying to learn how to sell shit. Yeah, anyways, thank you guys for watching, as always, and peace. Knowing how to sell properly can make you thousands, if not millions. If you like money, listen up. In my last video on sales, I talked about how simply caring more about your clients than your own product will actually keep your clients hooked in and make them consider more about buying your product. But how exactly do we end a sales pitch? How do we close a sale and keep the client locked in into purchasing what you have to offer? Well, I'm here to explain that. Now, the only way you're going to close a sale successfully is if you've done all the steps beforehand correctly. So if you want to know how to do that, check the video out on the screen now, which is my first part to sales techniques. And it basically tells you what to do at the start of sales and the middle of sales. So if you've done all of those steps correctly and you've got nothing to worry about, then you're ready to move on to closing. Like we talked about in part one, 80% of the time, especially at the start of the sales pitch, you are not talking. In fact, you are listening to your clients. You can learn about their goals, digging into what their goals are, pulling onto those emotional heartstrings so they feel emotionally attached to those goals. Now that you've let them finish talking, at the end of the call, ask a simple question. I completely understand your issue. Would you like me to explain what our business can do for you to help you reach your goals? And if they've been on the call with you, or well, it could be a call face-to-face, doesn't matter. If they've been talking to you for this long, then, they're obviously going to say yes. It'd be a bit weird if they didn't say yes, and you probably wouldn't want them as a client anyways if they're just not going to say yes and not going to hear out what you have to offer anyways. So then after all of that's out the way, tell the client what your product does and relate it to the client's issues, giving them an easy input equals output equation so that if they buy, by probability, obviously not 100%, nothing's 100%, right? But by probability, their goals will be reached if they purchase the product. Like I said in my last video, we never ever do this at the start, only the end, because if we do this at the start, we haven't even asked the client the question of what their goals are. So we can't relate our product with their goals, meaning if we just go on about our product, our product does this and this, and it's done this for these people and this for them, that they don't care. It's gonna bore them and they're not gonna be interested and they ain't gonna buy shit. Remember, if you watched my first part of the video, which you probably haven't, and if you haven't, you need to watch it now. You know that the client doesn't care about you or your product, only themselves and their goals. Basically, what I'm trying to say is people are selfish, and we need to keep that in mind and use their selfishness to our advantage. And now that you've told your client that their goal can easily be reached by the product you sell, making sure all their questions are answered, the client will most likely be fully interested in working with you, which is obviously what we want. And now we can finally get on to talking about pricing, which once again, we never do this at the start, only the end for similar reasons. Sorry. Remember, there should be at least 2 or 3 payment options. It's another psychology trick, basically. 2 or 3 payment options like high, low, medium. And they'll choose whichever one works for them best, whether that's like financial reasons or whichever, because maybe people don't necessarily need the top, price tag. Maybe the smallest or the medium one is just good to reach their goals. And next, you just end the phone call with a friendly goodbye, maybe scheduling a follow-up call if you really think that's needed, because maybe if you don't schedule a follow-up call most of the time, you have a chance of losing your client, which is obviously what we do not want. And yeah, other than that, pretty much it. That's everything, and you're done. Now, this is obviously the best possibility and outcome that can happen when pitching and selling to someone, but unfortunately, life isn't all about sunshine and gay little rainbows. They might be cheap and not want to pay right away, or they might still have their guard up because you haven't really built much of a relationship with the person you're trying to sell to, and they might not have trust in you, which is why closing isn't even the most important bit about sales. It's what you do at the start and the middle, which, building that relationship first. And then once you've built that relationship, only if you've built that relationship, then is when you worry about closing. So in my next video, sales, I'm going to be talking about what happens if the person you're trying to sell to, your hopefully future client, is a bit more stubborn and picky. Thank you guys for watching this video as always. I hope it's helped you out. Part 3 on how to sell. Now, this part's going to be a little bit different because we're going to be talking about if you've got a client on your hands that's a bit more hesitant or generally just isn't too confident in your product by the end of the call. Now, you shouldn't even need this video in general if you followed part 1 and 2 correctly. Now, the main rule to change a client's mind if they're leaning towards not working with you is to repeatedly ask them questions until they feel stupid enough not to buy. For example, if they don't like the price. Okay, that's fair. So what would happen if you invested in this product today? Would you go completely broke? Would you lose your house? Would you not be able to eat for the week? Thought not. I think this is definitely a risk worth taking if you want to reach your goals. Or another example, so what are your plans for the future if you decide not to work with me today? Are you going to find another salesman and be hesitant with them as well? How are you going to solve this problem? You see how I'm like making the clients feel sort of silly for rejecting my offer in a polite, calming way. Nothing rude, nothing aggressive. I'm relaxed and chilled, right? Because it's true, if you've got a problem that needs solving and I give you an input method to solve those problems that you have exactly so you get the output that you want, the output result that you want, why wouldn't you buy? You can't have an input without an output, obviously. Remember, most of the time, the client sells themselves, not you. So you're not getting angry with the client. You're not begging the client, please, please buy, please. You're not doing any of that foolishness. You're keeping your chill and maybe even showing the client that you don't even need them. For instance, straight up telling the client because they're so scared to take that little risk into investing in your product that they're not a good fit. You tell the client that you're not really a good fit for our product. You're not a good fit for the business you sell. And, because you're scared to take small risks like these, it's just not going to work out for you. And the client will almost like switch their mind and say something along the lines of, no, I am a good fit. And almost start begging you to give them another chance. Treat your client like a girl. Don't simp. Don't get angry and pissed at them for not wanting to date you. Play it cool and play a little hard to get so the girl's desperate for your attention. Nice little analogy from me there. I've got to give myself a nice little pat on the back, both sides for that one. But yeah, ask a lot of questions, finding out why they don't want to buy and convince them by pulling on their emotional heartstrings. We sell by emotion, not by facts. The clients don't care about the facts. The clients care about how they feel and their emotions. And ask them what their next step will be so you can make them almost feel stupid for not taking you up on your deal. And if all of that doesn't work, then it's probably not a client that you want anyways. Remember, we don't have to convince every single client we go on a call with. It's okay to let some go because it can generally be better for the business and also better for your mental health, knowing that you don't need to sell everyone. Remember to find that fit. Remember to find a fit for the business and someone that's not going to damage the business, because people can damage your business, clients can damage your business, and obviously that's something you do not want. Welcome back to my little series on teaching you guys how to be a pro at selling. This is my fourth video of the series. First video, I explained the main sales tip, explaining the basics. Second video, talking about how to close a sale and keep a client locked in. And my third video was me talking about how to change a client's mind if they're not as confident in what you are offering. We are going to be going over the top 5 most important sales techniques that will make you a pro salesman or saleswoman. We don't discriminate up in here. So number 1, we have being calm and relaxed. We don't want to be coming off as this crazy maniac salesman, or as I like to say, salesy, acting like how any average salesman would, especially if they're not matching your energy, which would be most of the time. Play it cool and calm because it makes you stand out from the crowd and differentiates you from the rest of those cheesy salesmen that we usually come across. And plus, the client is going to get the vibe that you're confident in what you have to sell because you are so chill. Now, up next, number 2, we have complimenting and being polite to the client. Now, this one's pretty self-explanatory, but let me just explain it and go over it really quickly. Obviously, we're not trying to dick ride them, but overall being kind to our clients, treating them as we would a friend, giving little compliments here and there to boost their self-esteem will make them more willing to buy the product. Remember, people do not buy off facts, they buy off emotions. So if they're not only just happy with the product, but happy with the salesman as well, the person that they're talking to, it will be a no-brainer for them to buy the product. Up next, number 3, not going off topic. You cannot go off topic. Now, it's okay to ask how the client's doing and have a tiny bit of small talk at the start of the call, just, to be nice and friendly. But other than that, you cannot be doing that. You've got to be on topic and you've got to be talking about what you have to offer. Your client is not here to talk about the football game last night. He wants to know what you have to provide and sell him or her. Discriminating, my fault. All going off topic does is driving your client away. Like I said before, we want to be friendly with our clients, but we also want to be talking about the product, services, and the client's problems way more. Okay, my bad for changing position. My camera is directly in front of the sun, the window, and it's starting to overheat, so I'm gonna have my camera down here temporarily. I don't know how long, probably for the rest of the video. Anyways, number four, I'm retarded. I also can't speak Spanish. I definitely butchered that. Number four. I really am retarded. I said numero cuatro, you fucking idiot. The 60-second rule, and no, I'm not talking about how long you last in bed for, buddy. My bad. I'm talking about how long you should be talking for a period of time. At a time, you should only be talking for 60 seconds. Remember, 80% of the time, your client should be the one talking. You shouldn't be talking for longer than a minute at once without your client being involved in the conversation. And this is where number 5 comes in. Feedback loops and restatements. Let me start off with feedback loops. Now, these are to make sure the client always has an understanding of what you are talking about and keeps them involved in the conversation so they do not lose attention. For example, do you understand what I'm saying? Does that make sense to you? Is what I'm saying clear to you? You got to make sure when you actually do speak, which isn't often, so you got to make it count, they don't get confused with what you're saying. And it's a two-way conversation, so you're not silencing your client, forcing them to shut up, and waffling about a product or service that they don't even give a fuck about. You're just wasting your time, buddy. It's not gonna work. Restatements are kind of similar, but used more for a psychological reason. So after, let's say I run an online fitness business and someone wants to lose weight, right? After they tell me their problems, I say, okay, so you want to lose weight and be more healthy for your children, correct? You see how obviously they just told me their problem, and I'm not retarded. I don't have a memory of a fucking goldfish. Obviously, I didn't forget what they said, but you see how I'm reminding them again so they hear their problem out loud again, pulling onto those emotional heartstrings so they are more invested with what I have to say and the service I have to offer. Back with the regular camera angle, nice. But yes, that is it. The 5 most important sales techniques you need to become a pro salesman or woman. Yes, boys, thank you for watching the video. Hope you enjoyed as always. Peace. Fucking hell, helicopter flying past, ruining my fucking outro. But yeah, peace, boys, peace. Number 4.